feel like people are losing their minds debating this thing of AI. They're thinking that AI will do this and that and whatever else. They will take their job. They will replace every human on earth. AI will be able to do anything, absolutely anything. But if you sit around for 30 minutes and really think about it, it's not going to do any of that. I know. Not a guy saying that AI is not going to replace us. But if we look at the present moment, AI is unable to show enough personality to convince anyone of anything. It frequently lies and gets things wrong. Yeah, it is impressive tech. It's fun to play with. But we tend to give it so much human qualities. We tend to anthropomorphize the hell out of AI. And it's a big bias. So many people just buy into this doomsday AI theories. You often hear this term in AI called agents. Let's play a game. Let's make this agent play by the same rules as a human would play by. And let's do it to the extreme. We tend to trust a teenager to take care of a toddler for a few hours on a few specific criteria. The teenager must have eyesight, hearing, and smell. We ask them a few tricky questions to test their judgment. I know, it's not a great argument, this one. You'll say, should we all become babysitters? This argument has a catch. Kids are very precious to their parents, and yet we trust a toddler for a few hours with a teenager. If AI would have good eyesight, good reflexes, good smell, we wouldn't trust it with a toddler anyway. Even if it had all of these things, we still wouldn't trust it. Why? Because a teenager has a hidden quality that is harder to get right than smell, good reflexes, and eyesight. A teenager knows how to comfort a toddler when he falls. You might say, that's going to be easy for AI. AI read 30 books about parenting, all the books about parenting and how to take care of toddlers. Comforting is usually, especially with toddlers, very illogical. You can distract them for a few seconds, then sing a song, then hug them, then pretend cry with them, and do so many other things in order to distract them because you understand that the fall wasn't that bad. They don't because it hurts a bit and they're gonna cry. But you see, it's very illogical the way you distract a kid when it cries. I think a toddler is the best stress test for an AI. Now, here's a big question. What happens when the toddler finds out the AI can't really restrict him or her or ground them? What will the AI do after 20 minutes of pretend cry from a kid? Will the AI concede and give him the chocolate? Or will the kid just go and take it himself? Now, this is a very tricky argument because we've been giving these AI researchers too much credit, but I will play along. Let's say AI will get a body, will get good smell, good eyesight, good touch, and let's invent this babysitter AI called Molly. Let's say it's already here. And let's go through a beautiful scenario where Molly has done something wrong. Not too big, not too small. Some damages were done to the house. Now, it's impossible to hold Molly accountable. She doesn't care. Plug her, unplug her, put her in the trash. She doesn't care. Are the owners of Molly accountable? Or are the creators of Molly accountable? If the creators of Molly blame it all on the kid or on the family, no one will ever buy the product again. Why would you buy a product that is advertised as a babysitter when, if it fails, if it does something wrong, it's your fault. No one would buy that product. Not a very wise way to make a product. I know. Sure, you can buy a car, prove that the manufacturer's defect led to an accident, and you win the case. But manufacturing problems like screws, wheels, are a different type of thing. When it comes to accountability for decisions and problem solving, you've just opened up a big can of worms. I'm not only accountable for how Molly is made, which is in my control, but how Molly behaves and what shitty decisions she takes. So everything comes back to accountability and trust. The question now is, how many business deals would you make with someone that is impossible to prosecute, impossible to hold accountable? How many business deals for any of their actions? All you can do is just unplug them and use another different version of them. How much money would you give them? You see, the biggest rebuttal of all of these arguments is, in the future, AI will be able to do this. That's even more flawed than the Molly argument. Technically speaking, anything is possible in the future. Of course, my argument is stupid because we're taking such a human thing to do and putting it straight in the hands of AI. But humans are very, very conservative when it comes to trusting machines and other technologies with their stuff, especially kids, animals, and loved ones. The more important the person or the task, the less we tend to trust into these big systems and technologies, and we want someone who can be accountable. They have something to lose if they get it wrong. The biggest hurdle right now is not that AI is not smart. It's quite smart. The biggest hurdle right now is that we cannot add accountability. And if we cannot add accountability, we cannot have trust. All trust between humans is based on accountability. We trust that something of equal value will be done to the person if they get to do something wrong to us. Let's add another beautiful argument. If I said to you, oh, I know this place you should see, it's called Spain. I read about it in a book. Oh my God, it's amazing. These beautiful buildings. Would you really trust me to give you travel advice based on a book? Or would you want someone who's been there? You might say, again, that's a flawed argument, but it has a catch as well. What if we're not talking about Spain, but we are talking about an emotion? Would you trust someone who hasn't felt a certain emotion to give you advice? No, 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 no. Let's rephrase that. Who hasn't felt any kinds of emotion to give you any kind of advice? Now, that's a big question. You see, even these big companies do not use AI for the big things. They use AI for repetitive tasks and things that don't have any real consequences. Sure, have an AI where it recommends movies to me, have an AI draw a pretty picture, have an AI drive a car. Yeah, sure. But if the AI in the car has an accident, you've just signed 90 pages that excuse me as a manufacturer for any kind of faults. You're not going to be really comfortable making that deal. That's a bad deal. You're saying this car is able to drive on its own, but if it does something wrong, you're not at fault. The one who made it drive on its own. I am, because I bought it. It feels to me like you're calling me stupid for buying your product and trusting your product. I wouldn't trust it because you don't trust it. If you trusted it, then you would not only say that this car can drive on its own, but take accountability for that. So, if you are fearful, you think AI will replace you, you should think of it like this: AI will play by the same rules that we are playing by. And it has a big flaw. We cannot build in accountability. So we cannot hold it accountable. We cannot sue it. All we can do is unplug it. So it has a trust issue, a hurdle that's so easy that even a teenager can get over. Don't worry too much about AI. You can make people trust you. AI can't.